Away from there, we'll go straight to the world of football. The Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu was overlooked for the CAF Women's Coach of the Year award despite guiding Nigeria to historic 10th Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON title. Now, CAF announced TP Mazembe's Lamia Boumedi as the winner, with Madugu and Morocco's Hoge Vilda completing the shortlist. Now, the decision has sparked debate among African football observers, given Madugu's exceptional achievement, including becoming only African coach nominated for the Women's Ballon d'Or, placing him among the global elite. Now, other CAF accolades went to Moroccan forward Sana Masudi as Women's Interclub Player of the Year, while Asfar earned Women's Club of the Year. Madugu and the Super Falcons now turn focus to 2027 World Cup qualification and their pursuit for the 11th WAFCON title. Let's get to hear from the coach himself of Nigeria women's team, Justin Madugu.
It's one of those things in life. The expectations most times are not always met. CAF will have our reasons for why the award didn't go to the winner of the last WAFCON. I had expected that I would win the award. However, that is not the end of life. Life continues. It has gone to somebody else. We'll continue to do our best and make sure that we make our country proud.
All right, that was, of course, Justin Madugu talking about the award. Despite not winning, I mean, he's looking forward to other things to come. But I don't think the fans, the journalists in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, football observers have moved on. And that's why we also have a seasoned women's football journalist joining us at this moment. Isabella Ikioma joins us this afternoon. Isabella, thank you very much for joining. Good afternoon to you and Happy New Year to you. Oh, all right. We will hope to have her back, and network is also fluctuating. Let's go back now to Gbemidepo Popola. Gbemidepo, Justin Madugu, I mean, it was a sad one according to football pundits and experts. He got the Women's Africa Cup of the Nations. The coach, the Moroccan that got the award, her team in the CAF club competitions did not even win the tournament. And a lot of us have been asking, what was the yardstick to have given her the award instead of Coach Justin Madugu, who guided Nigeria to a 10th WAFCON title?
Well, I think at this point in time, it has become a popularity vote when it comes to these awards being given. I've always mentioned it that I saw it coming that he probably might not get to win it, as he has not built a profile over a long period of time. So let's say he happens to win, or Nigeria happens to win the the WAFCON again this year. After this year, then definitely he would be winning. But I think he has not built such a profile on the continental scene. And I think that was what happened. For me, we all definitely knows that based on performance, it should be Justin Madugu. Coming from 2 goals down in the final, even the final performance of the ladies alone is deserves the coach to win that award. But definitely, like he said, the world does not end there. As he hasn't won it, he goes on to press on and use the disappointment to get his team back in order and also win an 11th crown. And I think that would be the best way to shut the mouth of everyone up at this point in time, that if he deserves it or not. So for me, he's a fantastic coach, the first African coach, the only African coach to make it to the world level at the FIFA Ballon d'Or level. I think that speaks enough for itself and for himself on that scene as well. So for me, I think the CAF Awards lately has become a laughing stock because when you look at the awards, you look at the nominees and you get to see the winners, you begin to ask yourself a couple of questions. What exactly is happening at the CAF Awards? Who are those voting and what exactly did they vote for? And so those are the questions that have been asked at this point, because it's surprising and it's shocking.
All right, surprising and shocking, considering that these two, in fact, maybe if they had gone to Vilda, you probably would say they got to the finals of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. But then you look at Morocco bailing Africa in the last few years. They've hosted the Women's Africa Cup of Nations in the last 3 years twice, or if I'm not mistaken, they're going to host again this year in Morocco in the month of March and April. The AFCON currently is in Morocco. Is it a case of, hosting a competition and say, hey, Morocco has to be, on top in whatever you, when you just say Moroccan, look for what he or she has done and just, give this awards to them? Because a lot of persons are saying maybe if that coach of the team is probably from another African country, he or she might not have gotten the award, but we're having to see, you know, the statistics. I mean, for you to make a Ballon d'Or nominee list, that shows you that even the world recognize what you've done for your national team. Now, for Coach Justin Madugu, what else can he win? You're talking about moving forward to show it again. It seems even if he wins the WAFCON for the 11th time for Nigeria, he probably may not even be the very best of Africa, very best person to still pick the award when it comes to Africa.
All right, so for me, I think he can definitely win it on that note. You know, winning it, getting to win the 11th time for the Super Falcons. Yeah, we know we have the quality, we know we have the technical know-how, but we once had a foreign coach in that seat who did not even take us to the finals. You know, which we did not even get to win bronze with at that point in time. So I feel the coach is excellent. He knows what he wants to do, and he knows how to go about his job, and I think that's one of the qualities I think I've seen in him. The technical know-how for him is very high, and I think he knows how to also get the girls to play for him, which is one of the most important things. Know how to get their on their emotional side and get the best out of them. And I think for me, winning the 11th WAFCON for me automatically guarantees him that he deserves to actually get the next one for the next year.
Okay.
Hopefully he gets to win it and the girls get to deliver.
All right, we'll wait to see how it goes. And we understand that Isabella Kioma is back with us. Isabella, welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me once again, Favor.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, and may the network also smile on you so we can get the conversation. Maybe Depo was talking about expressing his disappointment that Coach Justin Madugu did not win that award despite what he has been able to do. He has also gone on to say that maybe if he wins the next WAFCON, he will probably get the title. But Isabella, what are the criteria to name a person the best of the very best when it comes to Coach of the Year, Women Player of the Year, or even Young Player of the Year in African football?
He has the criteria. He won the 10th title for Nigeria. Nigeria did well, defeated the host there, and won that title. So why was he overlooked? It's one thing I do not know. I don't know why they missed out on naming him. He shouldn't have been overlooked, because this is what you have to do to be a coach. You have to be outstanding. And he was outstanding, of course. He was even mentioned in the Ballon d'Or. So who are the coaches now that will now feeling for CAF? I don't know why they had to do that. They had to omit him. But I liked what he said. He said that doesn't deter him from, being determined to go out there to help Nigeria. Also, maybe we can win it for the 11th time. But I don't know what CAF, I don't know what other criteria they use, because if it's this criteria, Justin Madugu should have been mentioned to be, or he should even win the Coach of the Year, because I don't know why he was omitted. But then that is CAF for you. They know their reasons. But for someone to be named a Coach of the Year, you have to be outstanding. You have to win a trophy. You have to win the highest competition. And he did that. We are the champions of Africa, Super Falcons. He won it for Nigeria the 10th time. A record.
Okay.
Setting a record there. So why was he omitted?
All right, why was he omitted? That's the question on everyone's lips at the moment. But let's also let you know that the draws for the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations went down on Thursday. Nigeria Super Falcons have been drawn in Group C alongside Zambia, Egypt and Malawi for the 2026 edition, following Thursday's official draw in Rabat, Morocco. Now, the 10-time African champions chasing a record 11th continental title will play all their Group C matches at the Larbi Zaouli Stadium in Casablanca. Now, the group promises competitive clashes with Zambia's Copper Queens emerging as a rising force, while Egypt and Malawi aim to cause upset. Meanwhile, hosts Morocco headline Group A, South Africa leads Group B, and Ghana, of course, tops Group D alongside Cameroon, Mali, and Cape Verde. The WAFCON finals run from 17th of March to the 3rd of April across multiple Moroccan venues, with anticipation building for a showcase of Africa's top women's national teams and the growing quality of the women's game. Let's get to hear from Justin Madugu again on the objective going into this one.
For us, The priority is to pick the World Cup ticket. That is our major objective. Retaining the cup will be secondary. The primary objective is qualifying to make sure that Nigeria makes an appearance at the next World Cup in Brazil. Any other thing that comes after that will be like a bonus for us. That is not to say we're just going to relinquish the cup. We want to retain it as well as qualify to go to the World Cup. That is our major objective. We have been clamoring for investment, for attention as far as women's football is concerned. I think this is a good development that will also go a long way in helping to ensure that the development of the game is made much faster than the way it is today, not only with the prize money, but like the president also said, the improvement of the welfare of the players. That is another area too, that will also stem, the influx of all movement of our players abroad, which is also affecting the development of the game locally and not attracting sometimes enough sponsors. So if the welfare of the athletes or the welfare of the players is improved upon, the players will be able to stay, and based on their quality, they will be able to also attract sponsors that can also bring in some level of investment that will help to develop the game much faster across Africa.
All right, Coach Justin Madugu is saying that his objective, first of all, is to get a ticket to the World Cup. Isabella, the group for Nigeria, what do you make of the group? An easy group for Nigeria, you think, is a tricky one for the Super Falcons?
Well, you say it's a tricky one because, of course, Egypt is there. In women football, they are not that there. But when it comes to women football, there has been a lot of improvement. Zambia has always been a tough opponent for the Super Falcons. Then you talk about Malawi, who are kind of minnows. But then, this is women football. It keeps on improving all the time. As the defending champions, anybody who is going to play with Nigeria will come with their A game. So any match there should not we should not just relax. We should take it very seriously. If you're meeting a small team, you beat them big. You score more goals to show your superiority. So that's a fair group for Nigeria, that Group C. And I love what Justin Madugu said. The priority first is to get that World Cup berth in Brazil 2027. So if Nigeria can finish, even if it's fourth, because it's only 4 teams that will go to the World Cup, then we are sure of being in Brazil next year. So I think it's a good group for Nigeria. And we can dream big and, try to see if we can retain the title this time.
All right, Baby Depo Popola, based on recent performances, what tactical approach should the Super Falcons adopt against these teams? The Copper Queens, familiar foes, played in 2018 in Ghana, both in, I think, in group stage, and of course, went on to win the competition. That's for Nigeria. Played again in Morocco with Super Falcons of Nigeria. What should they do differently, knowing fully well that it was not easy for Nigeria to win the 10th WAFCON title just last year in Morocco?
Yeah, definitely. It's quite important to note that, the group for me, it looks a bit complicated. I think we are not looking at even at the Malawian side as well. We're concentrating on, these beautiful Zambian team. But I think it's going to be an end-to-end encounter for me in that game, because we cannot underrate them. We cannot underrate the quality they are bringing on board as well, which for me is very important to note that, the likes of Zambia, the likes of Egypt that we might want to underrate, and Malawi, they might just bring surprises or pull up surprises. So definitely, for me, I think it's a good one, good encounters all around to get to see, Nigeria play against Zambia, get to see some, derbies as well, the Northern Derby as well, with Morocco, Algeria as well. These are games that people would want to see. So for me, I think it's a good one. And I hope definitely the Nigerian women's team will not underrate Zambia, because, well, if we underrate them, we might just have to pay the price.
All right, might just have to pay the price. Isabella, before I let you go, finally, Nigeria is gunning for the 11th WAFCON title. Looking at what is at stake, how do you think this pressure could affect their play style going into this competition? knowing fully well they're going to play in the host nation, Morocco, a country that is yet to win a women's WAFCON title?
Well, that is going to be a bit, I wouldn't say it's going to be difficult, but there will be pressure because last year, of course, they defeated Morocco right there in Morocco then in the finals. But you're talking about the Super Falcons who are used to pressure. So all they have to do is concentrate on getting the, coming out from the group, going through all the stages. Then when we reach there, we know how far, but then there's going to be a lot of pressure on their shoulders, but it's the Super Falcons. They know how to navigate their ways in Morocco.
All right, thank you very much, Isabella Kioma, for your time. We look forward to you joining us again, and may the best of the very best of women's football continue to, motivate and, go around the world of sport and football in Africa. Thank you very much for joining. All right, let's let you know that 6-time Africa Women's Player of the Year, Asisat Oshoala, has questioned CAF repeated allocation of major football events to Morocco, reigniting debate within African football circles. Now, the Super Falcons forward highlighted Morocco's hosting of several high-profile competitions and ceremonies in recent years, including the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, the CAF Awards, and the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. David Ekpo, Asisat Oshoala is questioning CAF, but a lot of persons will say, how many countries in Africa have ready facilities to host major football competitions?
I think it's a bit dicey. It's, I would say it's a bit complicated as well, because for me, Asisat Oshoala has raised the valid points, but at the end of the day, do we have these facilities as well? Like you rightly raised the question. She mentioned Nigeria co-hosting with the likes of Ghana, likes of Togo, neighboring countries, talk about Benin Republic. But how many of these countries have 2 solid standard FIFA or CAF certified stadiums? These are the questions we are going to ask. How many of these countries as well have 100% security guaranteed without, worries for banditry, any of these things happening? I understand her pain. I understand, her reactions from where she's coming from as well. I'm a Nigerian, and I think the game against Morocco as well, I felt a bit did not go our way due to the fact that we are not the host. And whether we like it or not, it's like she rightly said, it's getting boring now. It's getting boring. We saw the African Best Player of the Year female award given to a Moroccan, which everyone generally, it's a general knowledge that it was more or less like a compensation rather than an actual reward system. So I think she is right. She's asking a big question. But I think it is not just about the question. It's about are the facilities ready as well. So we have to, sit down. You have to sit down in this part of the world as well and say, okay, if we want to challenge the status quo, what are we doing to challenge the status quo in the next 5 years, in the next 3 years? What are we doing to challenge the status quo? So I think that's where we should sit down. The federation, everyone involved should sit down and ask these questions, and we doubt we can move on to the next level.
Okay. All right, wait to see how it goes for African football. Just so also let you know that CAF Executive Committee is meeting today in Rabat to decide on so many things, including the host for the 2028 Africa Cup of Nations.